Well, now joining me on Skype from the United Kingdom is a security consultant, Femi Aratokun, to discuss this developing story. Femi, good to see you. And, well, no part of this country has been left untouched by the security challenges, whether you're talking about Boko Haram, kidnapping, banditry, and all whatnot. Now, the key question that has been raised is what exactly is giving rise to all of this? The former president just wrote another open letter, keying it on anchoring it on poor management of diversity. He says it is the main issue, which ordinarily should be our greatest asset. Try to make sense of this. Why is Nigeria where it is, security-wise?
Well, good afternoon, and I'll be honest with you, it is not a good tone at all, and we're not in any situation that is progressing in terms of the security challenges we're having in Nigeria. For the former president to have written such a big note and handed it over to the present president of the country is a very big issue at the moment. We are still where we are for so long a time. There is no progress. People are dying. The infrastructure of our security has never for one day improved. So the key question is this: the security budget vote given to governors, what exactly are they doing with it? It is a shame, and it's a very big impact on our country these days that we keep talking about kidnapping, we keep talking about armed robbery, burglaries, and banditries, and all the rest. But again, what is the police officers doing? What exactly is their major role? How exactly have they been able to impact all this to our youths? Because if you look at those perpetrating
let me situate what you're saying, if I get you correctly. What you're saying is the security apparatus really should be at the state level. That if security is going to be tackled, it should be tackled at the subnational level. Is that what you mean?
It is not really something to do with the national level this time around. We have governors, we have chairmen, and we have councillors. It is their job to make sure that their constituencies are all safe, their wards are safe. But the question is, have they actually given the power to make it happen in the first place? If they are not, then it's a big shame on the governors in our states or in our country today. It is a big shame on them, and they should be the one responsible for all this.
Now, let's even look at the ethnic and political coloration that seems to be giving the security challenge a different tone entirely. Is that worsening the situation, that we're not looking at this as a crime against the state, that we're looking at it from a political or ethnic prism?
Well, I think, let me put it this way. We always look for who to blame when it comes to a situation of insecurity in our country, Nigeria. Obviously, no matter who you're going to blame, it's going to be the head of state, and the head of state will not trickle it down to whoever is actually handling those states. But my key question is this: we have raised all this in the diaspora, and we have even written letters and proposals to the governors. Now, look, if you have a football team that is actually not working well, change your strategy. If it happens that the strategy is not working well, then the next thing is this: change your team. Have they been able to change the team? What about the president? Why can't you change your team and reshuffle them to make sure that this stuff is actually working? We have so much resources in Nigeria. We have so much manpower, but the manpower have not been really utilized in such a way that we will surely tackle this menace we have in the country. Is now going to a stage whereby investors cannot even come in and boast of investing in our country. So we are in a state of dilemma at the moment. And we have begged the country, we have begged the state, we have begged everybody, invite the diasporas that are specialists to come and help. Unfortunately, where the whole thing is happening right now is my own state, Ondo State. I have written to the governor. So what has been done? Nothing. So
now, when the chief of staff, Tukur Buratai, Chief of Army Staff, says that the real challenge why Nigeria is not gaining much ground when it comes to fighting security is because of some level of lack of commitment on the part of those who should be at the battlefront. And then again, I recall that the EFCC chairman not too long ago, Ibrahim Magu, said that some governors are actually gaining, they're cashing in on this because of security votes, and they're making some kind of money or what have you. Now, when you picture all of this together, does it give you a clear picture of where the problem really may be coming from?
Well, the problem is actually coming from the leaders, I must be honest with you. And when I mean the leaders, those at least, let's put it this way, those in charge of what to do and what not to do, they should be the one coming out and facing questions from the member of public, because they hold these offices and they should be accountable to justify exactly what the budget has been used for. Let us look, example, our police stations. Where are we with them? Look at their welfare. Look at what they look like. Look at the kind of machineries they are using. Look at the kind of guns they are using. 1960s or 1970 guns. For God's sake, the threat we're having today is far greater than all this, what we're facing and what they are using. So we have reduced them to the ground level that they are actually using their power, their strength, but we are not really getting anything from the government to support them. Then the member of public have got a responsibility as well. But without this responsibility, there should be a platform to work with. We don't have any platform in Nigeria, and this is what is causing the problem. People are gaining and cashing on it, because when we have crises, there will be gainings, and when we have gainings, there will be crises. Again, the international government might say so much, but it's not down to us to now look into it. Are we doing ourselves any favor in terms of this insecurity we have in the country or not?
Right. Femi Aratokun is a security expert. Thank you so much for joining us on the news.